impact upon the black masses. America and Britain are all capitalist states. Policies built upon interests. Regarding Israel, it has always been a tool of the capitalist state. It derives its legitimacy and strength from these states. Israel and Jews are cowards. How can Israel take on the Muslims? Isn't it the US, with its build-up of troops, that is preparing to take on the Muslims? My answer is, wait and see. Wait and see. I have used the hadith to describe a reality in which one ruling state is about to give way to another. So my analysis comes out of the hadith. This analysis comes out of political analysis, using normal tools of political analysis. I think this would be a valid analysis for someone using normal tools of political analysis. But someone using the Quran and Sunnah would understand that this is not correct. In your booklet, you've only talked about the Middle East. When will the situation in the Indian subcontinent? What about the situation in the Indian subcontinent, South Asia and Central Asia? This is not correct. In my booklet, I said that the United States could not have been attacked on September 11th unless you had first put in place a government in Islamabad. It's there in my book. They had to first put their man in Islamabad before they could attack the United States on September 11th. And so all that drama in the sky about an aeroplane running out of fuel, that belonged to Hollywood. That belonged to Hollywood. Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister, was absolutely correct when he said that this was a conspiracy hatched against me. So that I could be removed from power, and so that this government could be put in place. No elected government of Pakistan could ever have consented to the United States using the territory of Pakistan to attack Afghanistan. That is suicide. No government would have done that. Not even the worst government of Pakistan would ever have done that. So you had to have a Jewish government in Pakistan, a government established by the Jews to serve the Jews. If you could have had a government in Pakistan would allow the United States to use the territory of Pakistan to attack Afghanistan. So don't say that I didn't speak about the subcontinent. What role will Iran play in the upcoming rising from Khorasan? This is tomorrow's lecture. No, yeah, tomorrow is Imam al-Mahdi? Yeah, tomorrow. If the state of Israel will be dominant over the whole world, will it be without anyone's help? If the answer is yes, then what does it mean by Allah's word, illa bihablim min Allah? When the Jews boasted of what they did to Nabi Isa alayhi salam, okay, that was the last straw. Then Allah's curse came upon them. وَبَاءُوا بِغَضَبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ. And even in Surah Al-Fatiha, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, the Jews. Now their fate around the world is to live in misery, to live in poverty, إِلَّا بِحَبْلٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَحَبْلٍ مِّنَ النَّاسِ. The only exception to this, the only time the Jewish civilization can prosper after the attempt to crucify Isa alayhi salam, is if they live under a non-Muslim rule and that non-Muslim rule extend to them guarantee of security. Or if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were to give it to them temporarily. Other than this, their state will now be maskana and zillah and ghadab min Allah. What is the source of income in the Muslim village? Can we maintain our careers and jobs, or do we have to return to subsistence farming? I don't think this is subsistence farming. If you're producing that food which will fetch the highest price. I mean, in South Africa, 6 million whites are going to be lining up to buy this food because they know they can trust Muslims, they can't trust anybody else. It's like blood. When they want blood, the best blood you can get is Muslim blood. I mean, full-time Muslim, not part-time. So the food which will be produced by the Muslim village will fetch the highest price. This is not subsistence farming. But I've mentioned that in addition to farming, food crops and dairy farming, the village must also have its own industry. We can have cottage industries like batik in Indonesia, cottage industries. I mean, there are some Muslims, not the Malay, but the Indian Muslim, Pakistani Muslim. I mean, he's been given a special talent for computer software engineering. He go down to Silicon Valley in San Francisco. You know how many Hindus, Indians are out there? The place looks like Little India. Huh? Silicon Valley looks like Little India because, of course, the Hindus are the ones who have taken the market. But it's also because of a special aptitude that Allah has given to a people. Wallahu anbatakum min al-ardi nabata. Allah has caused you to emerge from the earth like trees and plants. And some trees are for timber, some are for shade, some are ornamental. So these are people who have been endowed the aptitude for this kind of work. Inna sa'ayakum la shatta, another ayah. So why can't we, from the Muslim village, why can't we have software engineering companies operating out of the village? Huh? How can we implement Islam in this country? How can we apply two systems in one country? In your Islamic village, will we have the power to set up political, economic and judicial institutions? What will the Australian government have to say? This is Australia, but we already have a case study of Hama in Syria in 1982. The answer is, so long as you do not threaten the state, and so long as you enforce the Quran and the Sunnah, you have one more actor in the equation now. And that actor is fa'alul lima yurid. He has the power to do whatever he wants. That actor is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Surah Al-Kahf of the Quran, He has declared that if you disconnect, يَنْشُرْ لَكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِرَحْمَتِهِ, He will shower you with His rahmah. If, however, the government, not necessarily Australia, the government comes after you even in a remote village, where you do not threaten the state at all,